Will.
All right. We're live. We're not really live. Welcome back to the Name Pending Ugly Burrito podcast. Will Calder, Travis Ehrenberg, Ava Romer, and Ella Renshaw. We're doing the ultimate collab that should break the internet because we're so prolific in our own podcast. We decided to make a collab for one day. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody's day? 4th of July, so everybody's out celebrating, and we're making the greatest podcast of all time. There's no other way to be spending the holiday.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know how it is.
All right. So we've kind of got our own questions made for each other. Me and Travis have some questions for Ava and Ella, and I've been told that they have their own questions for us. So I guess we're just gonna fire away. You guys can go first. Let's hear some of the great questions.
We do like we ask a question, you ask a question. Yeah. Okay.
Something like that.
So our first question is something that we heard a little bit about your opinions on it, but we want to just talk about it. Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich?
Yes. Travis, I think Travis originally said no, and the conversation kind of went that I convinced him that it was. But his reasoning behind why it wasn't was really stupid. So it was pretty easy to convince him.
Hot dog sandwich.
Interesting. Now, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I like a good reason why it isn't, but it just like I don't think it is.
Just that mental, you can't get over it. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, like if you think about it, it's like a hot dog is like meat, and then if you like put stuff on it, you could put like cheese, or like I don't know if that's good or not. I've never tried that, or like ketchup or something. But I don't know. Just doesn't give off sandwich vibes to me.
But it also doesn't like. It closes. Like there's not two pieces of bread. But I understand like that could be a roll. I don't know.
That's true. If you put like turkey and cheese on a hot dog bun, that's a sandwich. So where does it stop? Like, I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. Do you believe a cereal is a soup?
That's our second question. That's what
this is what we heard from an anonymous source. We've been hearing a lot from a very, very anonymous source that you think this.
We don't think that cereal is soup.
No. I don't think it's a soup. It's crunchy.
So
yeah.
why is it soup?
Because I feel like all soup is hot.
Yeah.
Tea soup? That's normally cold.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
If you heat up your cereal in the microwave, is it still cereal? Or is it soup?
That's just, I don't know what that is.
Soup, so
I don't think that would taste very good.
I think it would still be, I think it would be, that's a good question. Yeah.
It's still cereal.
Like
Case closed.
I don't know about that one.
I just think cereal is a soup because like it's cold and other soups are normally cold. And then plus you still have like you have the broth being the milk, and you have like the components of the cereal being like the chicken or the other stuff you'd find in other normal soups. So I figure there's really no difference between the two besides the temperature.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Reasoning to back it up.
Right.
Just like if you say like if you want some cereal and you say, "Mom, can you get me some soup?" Like, I don't know.
Come home with
That's true. All right, we'll hop into a question then for you guys. All right. This one kind of goes along me and Travis. We're both history guys, but I guess it's kind of, if you could take over any country, which one would you take over and why? Like you are the ultimate dictator. You're the leader. Which country are you taking over?
Is the U.S. included?
Yeah, I guess so.
Make it interesting. Come on, Eva. Make it interesting. What about you?
I don't know. I was going to say the U.S. because we have pizza. I honestly don't know. I don't really have any good like
I think I'd take over North Korea.
North Korea.
I think I would. It's just more interesting. Come on, like I gotta spice it up.
Kim Jong-un has made an appearance in, I think, every single podcast so far. So I'm glad he's still making an appearance in North Korea.
Okay, good.
Wait, I thought he died though. Like, what happened to him?
He's alive. What he did was he faked his own death to see who was traitors within his inner circle. And then once he saw that there were people partying, he killed them all.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I don't know much about
Yeah, neither do I.
or geography, so don't ask about that.
Well,
Oh yeah, Abe actually just learned where all the states in the U.S. were. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Will, let me answer your question here, buddy.
All right, let's hear it, Travis.
I could either go on. Wait, all right. I gotta wait 1 second.
Okay. When he takes a break, where is Michigan?
Oh, it's up with the lakes next to the right of Wisconsin.
I think you're right to the right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What other geography? Which states did you just not know where they were? Does it just you never learned?
I did not know that we were so close to Vermont. Like, I thought that was next to Montana.
Montana?
Well, I didn't know about Vermont, and
you said something. I think you said
I thought that Hawaii and Alaska were next to each other under California, because on a map that's where they show them, right? So I had no idea that they were Hawaii, I don't know where that is, but I had no idea.
But you never thought Alaska is snowy and Hawaii's an island, a beach island?
And now I look back and it doesn't really make sense.
Interesting.
But they show it on the map, so I just believed it.
Okay, so where they do little boxes on the bottom left because they don't fit on
Yeah, I see what you mean, but I don't know.
See, the reason I'm so bad at geography is I just was never taught it in school.
Okay.
Once I learn it, I'll be okay, but I just was never taught it, so I never learned.
So, but continents, right? Where with the general vicinity of those.
I don't know where they are. Well, recently I've learned a bit, but I don't if you ask me to name every continent, I do not know how to do that.
Okay. Well.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think. You told me. I said where's I think Russia or something, and she's South America. I was what?
I don't know where it is still.
All right.
I'm really surprised when I found out Russia is near Asia. I was what?
Yeah. It is in Asia. It's also in Europe. A little bit of it is, but not too much.
All right. We have another question.
All right. When Travis gets back in, I'll let him in. But let's go.
Okay. Is Hamilton rap?
I'm going to be I've never heard Hamilton, not a single song. So I have no idea. I know it's been it's been a debate, I guess, over the past few days. People have decided to post a lot about it on specifically there. I have no idea. I know at a recent get together, 2 people were for it and 2 people were against it. So I guess the question is, which people do I like more? The people who are for it and the people who are against it?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I probably would have never heard it either, except for that anonymous source likes it very much. And I feel like I've heard it from them, but I don't think I could ever be a fan of Hamilton.
There's some people that are obsessed with it and know every single song and went to go see it times, and just, I don't know, back when it was a thing, people would pay thousands of dollars to go see it. And I just
multiple times too.
Is it worth it?
Oh yeah.
Hype. I don't understand. Yeah. But I don't think it would be considered rap. I think it's just very fast theater songs.
Okay. Yeah. I think my answer is, I can't remember which side those 2 were actually on. Which side was the anonymous source on? Remind me.
There was a couple anonymous sources.
Well, no, the anonymous source you're talking about is
right?
Thinks it's rap. No, thinks it's rap.
It's not rap. It's not rap then.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. It's not rap. We'll end it there. All right.
Okay.
Let's get another. All right. Next question is, what are the correct or proper responses to the phrases "what's up" or "how's it going"?
Wow.
Is there really any correct response to that, or does everybody just say good to both of them?
If someone says "what's up," I don't know. I don't think I'm a dry texter, so if someone says "what's up," I just assume they're asking me what I'm doing, and I'm oh, not much. I'm just chilling in my bed, or I'm just watching TV, or I'm hanging out with my friends. Like I usually try to give them,
I agree.
then you can have a nice conversation, because
That makes sense.
if you just say like, oh, nothing, like, then I feel like they'll just like not want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then it stops it. But for how's it going, I think you have to say like, oh, I'm doing well. Like I just did this, blah, blah, blah. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You can't just say like not much. What about you? Like NM. What about you? WBU. Like no, I'm not for that. Because how are you gonna start a conversation? You're gonna be like the other person's gonna say same, and then it's over.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even more awkward like when you're in person and someone says what's happening, you're just like nothing or like good and that's it. Because then you don't even like even reciprocate to that
Exactly.
like what's up with you or whatever. It's just really lame and awkward. And then you're just kind of standing there awkwardly and you're like, what am I supposed to say now?
Yeah, I am not for awkwardness. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I agree. It's too much.
I feel like in person, if someone says like, oh, like what's up, like they don't expect a response. It's just kind of like the same thing as saying like, oh, hi, like how are you?
That's
like,
true.
Like what's up? Like hey, what's up? Like I don't know. I feel like that
Depends. If you don't know the person well, like let's say you're meeting someone or like it's someone you see in public, then you can kind of talk to them. But like if it's your friend and they say like what's up, it's like hi, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like for a longer interaction, you have to like talk to them. But if they're just walking by and they're like, oh hey, and you're like, oh what's up, then you're not really expecting them to go on and tell you their whole life story or something.
Exactly.
All right. So, you guys have a question for me now? I think Travis is trying to get back. I don't know what's going to happen. He's trying to figure it out, but worst case scenario, we'll just continue it and I'll try to edit it in somehow. Get some videos.
All right.
I'll get video responses from him and then I'll just throw them in here somewhere.
Yes. We talked a little bit before about your podcast and like how you do it, but we just want to ask how you got started as having a podcast. Like, what was your inspiration?
I think what ended up happening was one day after school, Travis called me, or after virtual school. He's like, I was on, there's another kid who has an actual podcast where he talks about the school. It's called like Green Wave Radio or something. And he called me and he goes, let's make a greener wave radio, or let's try to one up this kid. And I was like, I'm all for the idea of a podcast because I thought he was joking, but you know, I'm totally down to make a podcast with you. And we decided that day to ask my private store any questions that they had, and we just threw them all on a video. And we're just like, screw it, let's just try to make a podcast. We're both really bored. So yeah, it was kind of like unorthodox. It was a way that we were originally going to try to one up a kid that was totally harmless and had absolutely had absolutely nothing to deal with it. But we just figured, you know, let's talk about a bunch of random stuff and try to make it as entertaining as possible for 30 minutes. And it's kind of just skyrocketed from there.
Well, now you have to thank that kid, because if it wasn't for him, the name Penny podcast.
If Travis didn't make an appearance on that kid's podcast, then I don't think we'd be here.
Wow.
It's very, very sad, but you know, it's interesting.
What about you guys? How did you guys start?
Well,
I'm trying to think.
did I tell my little story of how I got started?
Yes.
So what made me want to start a podcast was, well, my mom is like obsessed with podcasts. Like she will listen to it, and then as soon as she's done like listening to it, she'll just like spew everything she's learned onto me. And she's like, I learned this, blah 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 blah. And then she's like, did you know toothpaste is bad for you? Blah 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 blah. And then like all kinds of stuff. Also, don't worry, I brushed my teeth. Like that's not what I meant when I said
No,
that.
don't worry. I trust you.
But yeah, so my mom loves podcasts. So she just was always like, oh my gosh, like these podcasters are so great. And then she was like, you can make so much money making a podcast. You should be a podcaster. And I was like, not sure I can make so much money doing it, but maybe I'll try. And then one day Ella and I were talking, and she was like, because we both listen to some podcasts ourselves. Ella likes Call Her Daddy, and I like this.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, so we just were talking, and we were like, we love podcasts so much. We should make our own. And then the Gossip Burrito was formed.
Yeah, no, I think for me, we were on FaceTime one day, and it was like during all the Call Her Daddy drama, and I was very invested, and I was like, I could be a good podcaster. So then we just both wanted to be a podcaster, so, you know, had to get the collab.
That's pretty cool. I don't listen to podcasts unless it's sports related, and even then I'm only listening for 2 minutes. So for me to make a 50-minute podcast, which was the last one we're uploading sometime soon, is weird and hypocritical of me. But you know, if anybody's listening still, what's up? We like to do a little comment thing where, like, if you comment something in the YouTube comment section, we give you a shout out at the beginning. So what's our comment word for today? You want to do like collab or something? Or let's do the name pending Gossip Burrito. If you're watching, name pending Gossip Burrito, shout out on next podcast for either one of us, I guess.
Speaking of that, how did you guys come up with your podcast name? Like, how'd you think of that?
That was a lot tougher. Gotta be honest, I feel like it's just one of us wrote down name pending, and we we're just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's make it a meme. And we just called it Name Pending Podcast.
I like it.
We're rivaled. Yeah. We're rivaled by another Name Pending podcast, but we're not really rivaled by them. They only have 2 subscribers. We have 11, so we're blowing them out of the water.
I have such a funny story about that. So I first heard that you guys had a little podcast, and I was like, oh, I'll just like look them up on YouTube. And this was like a couple weeks ago, and I looked up the Name Pending podcast, and I saw the other one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's so funny because one of their videos is just like about cheese.
I think so.
So I was well, me and Ella like have like a tiny cheese obsession. Like we just love
just a little one.
A little bit. And we were so excited. We were like, oh, they love cheese. But it was a really weird podcast. So
yeah. Well, we actually called them out on the end of our last podcast. We called them out and we told all of our 11 subscribers to hate it. No, I'm kidding. Maybe we should. Maybe we should hate on them.
You should start some like big drama.
Yeah, we'll start some drama between the below 12 subscriber podcasts and just see what escalates because of it.
I'd be interested, definitely.
That's some Keemstar level drama right there.
Yes, of course.
Get big. All right. Let's see. What other questions do I have for you? All right. If you're trying to fail, but you succeed, did you fail or did you succeed?
Oh, wow. I would say that you failed, because if you were trying to fail, then you failed at failing.
I agree with you there.
But if you fail at failing, it's a double negative, and that technically is a success.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
So I think that's a little mind-boggling there.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like if you're trying to do something and you don't do it, then no matter what it is, or like whatever circumstance, I feel like you failed.
That is very true.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Wow. I never thought about that.
It's one of
me either.
It's a deep thinker I got off the internet this morning. We'll thank the internet for that one.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Well, something that we were going to ask you guys about is, like, what are some of your favorite topics that you've talked about so far on your podcast? Like, I watched a little bit of it, but not a lot. But we were wondering, like, what was some of your favorite little conversations?
All right, so I'll speak on behalf of Travis and I here. Kim Jong-un, like I said, has made an appearance in every podcast so far. Communism has made an appearance in almost every one. I think it just didn't make an appearance in one of them. I don't think it's the last one. We do a lot of ranking stuff, just like random stuff where we rank like we ranked the people we hated the most. We ranked movies. We ranked meme songs, which we both agreed Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, the Rick Rolled song. We both agreed that was number one. And I still think it's number one. I think that's a really good song.
That's a good one.
But yeah, the two main things are communism and Kim Jong-un, which is really sad considering neither of us actually believe in communism. But we figure, you know what? It's a somewhat cool topic to talk about. Are you kidding? I don't have to, whatever. We might have to restart the Zoom. I don't know why, because it's upgrade, but whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I think the two main things have got to be Kim Jong-un. And then in the first podcast, we talked about the KD of like Mao Zedong and Joseph Stalin being like 20 million to 1, which we had to edit out because it wasn't, we started laughing about it, which wasn't exactly a good thing to start laughing about. But yeah, I'd say just Kim Jong-un, really. I think that's the final answer on that one.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever talked about Kim Jong-un on our podcast.
No, maybe we should. I think it's a very, I agree. I don't agree with communism, but I think it's a very interesting thing to talk about. Like, it's definitely.
Communism is.
gonna be honest, neither do I really. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know like
Oh yeah.
I just know a lot of the leaders. And-
Yeah, me too. Because I was the other day, so I'm in Model UN, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
a little presentation on the United Nations Security Council. So I had to do so much research, and in this little like PDF I was using for my notes, it talks all about like Stalin and I don't even know his name, but some guy little like Mao, who's like
Mao Zedong, yeah, China.
yeah, him. And so I learned so much, but I don't like know what it is exactly.
I know the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But like, it's interesting.
It's a very fun topic to talk about because there's so many opportunities.
Very true, very true.
Yes,
But I
I
like the
agree.
podcast style. Me and Ella mostly talk about like our favorite TV shows, our celebrity crushes, our favorite foods, all the good stuff.
Yeah, we like to like we have a doc where we just plan. We have like a one focus, and we just talk all about it, and we kind of just go off about it because I don't know.
Yeah. We kind of have that same idea of like a broad topic and then try to make it as stupid as possible. And then, well, for Travis, he normally wings it because he doesn't bother to look at the document until he reads the question. But I have a little bit of time to think about it at least.
Very professional. Very professional.
A little preparation. We have our little doc and we write stuff down.
Mm.
And we try and have like a little intro, and then we talk about our podcast. We write down like key stuff, but then we mostly just like improv and talk as we go and figure it out. And then we have a little recap of the episode, and then we always end with our Ritos Out
Yeah, it's a classic, you know.
outro.
I got something that it's a mind-blowing thing. And I just want to, I'll read it by and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So you never stop clapping after the first time you clap. You just have extended breaks between each clap, and you're giving yourself a high five for something someone else did. So it's like two deep things combined to be a super deep thing.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's very interesting, you know. And like technically you never stop clapping.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
The thing that's
Like, I wonder when the last time I clap is going to be.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's true.
the thing that stuck with me is the thing that you're giving yourself a high five for something someone else did.
Me too. That was fun.
That one's kind of deep because that just like makes you feel like nothing, I guess.
Yeah, you never clap for yourself.
It's like making sound. Like that's a symbol of like good job. Like I don't know. It's just weird. It gives me weird vibes. But I don't know. I had a ballet teacher who used to make a snap for someone when they did something.
Yeah, snapping is, I think, becoming more popular. I don't know why.
Well, he would make you snap for yourself. Like if you did something good, he would snap for you.
That
So,
doesn't make sense.
self-appreciation.
That's kind of weird, but
Maybe that one crosses the line. I don't think snapping for yourself should be a thing.
yeah, maybe just
So
I
funny.
don't know.
So cute. Such a legend. I miss him.
Rip.
But I also heard something the other day. An anonymous source told me, if you're listening, shout out you, anonymous source. I actually forget who said it, but like if you hit yourself and it hurts, are you strong or are you weak?
I think you're strong.
Yeah, I think so too. Because if you get hit, like it's gonna hurt. I feel like.
Plus,
I mean, I don't know. That sounds stupid, but like it's true.
it also depends on like where you hit yourself. Because like if you slap yourself on the face, then you can't like really protect. Like you can't be necessarily like strong in your face. But if you slap yourself on like the leg or something like that, where like you have an opportunity to build more
stomach and you
cushion,
have like abs.
like more opportunity, like cushioning, I guess.
True.
But if you slap yourself in the face, then you're just strong because there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting.
That's another interesting one. We're getting into some deep topics, and this is what podcasting is all about. Answering
Yeah,
the
of course.
questions.
Very true.
Hmm.
That was very mind blowing about the clapping. Yeah.
Makes you think.
Yeah, definitely.
Something a long time ago that always stuck with me. That isn't it crazy how the brain named itself? Like, how did think of that name? Like, it just was like, I want to be called Brain. I'm like, I don't know. It weirded me out.
That is true though. Like,
oh, this is the arm. This is the brain. These are the eyes. Like, it's very bizarre.
I know. I always think about things like that. Like, how everything started. Like, the other day, I was like in a deep thought, like, of like everyone's last names. Like, I just think that's so crazy. Like, when people like came here, they would just like probably said random words, and I don't know. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Also, I have a question. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
The egg. No. I'm gonna go with the egg.
How did it? It can't just make itself. Like, where'd it come from?
Yeah, but the chicken can't make itself either. It has to come from an egg. One had to be given first, right? One had to be on the earth first. I feel like there's a better likelihood for the egg to be on the
I think so
earth
too.
first than the chicken.
Were
I think
chickens
so too.
around when the earth first like existed? Because maybe they adapted from another like creature.
Yeah, but then if they like
And, like,
evolved or whatever.
Yeah, but they had to come from an egg.
Exactly, yeah. In order for that chicken to evolve or whatever, or like to be an actual chicken, it had to come from something.
An egg.
Yeah, it didn't just like show up.
I never thought about that. Wow. I guess you're right. You can just have a random egg pop out of nowhere.
All right, I have a little bit of like one that I've always actually thought about. So you know how like the question I originally had was how far east do you have to go to be considered going west? And then more particularly time zones. Because like California, from New Jersey, California is 3 hours behind, but Japan is 9 hours ahead. So where is that like line where it's no longer considered like after and it transitions into before or like ahead?
Oh, that is so much thinking for my brain. Like, I don't even know.
Give me a headache.
I figured it's just like some random island, I guess, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean is like they like really just drew a line in like the ground and they said, all right, this is where we stop it and this is where we're ahead. Because one island, like one half the island is 12 hours behind the other half of the island.
We're almost out of Zoom time.
Yeah, I'll just restart a Zoom. I'll just restart it too. Don't worry about it. It's
I
pretty
never
quick.
use Zoom, so I don't know how to do it. But yeah, that's weird. But does your phone change like when you walk out of a certain time zone? Like, does it fix itself?
When you connect to
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, it'll like switch it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, like just, yeah.
So technically, you could just like go on a walk. Well, not from here, but like in somewhere that has a different time zone, and then just like see where it changes.
Yeah, you like cross just like a line, and all of a sudden, like, that's so weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Or does it gradually change? Like, does it get like a minute faster, like the further you walk?
Well, like the time zone's like an hour, I think. So like if you cross, like I think like Florida and Alabama are like different time zones, like specific parts of Florida. So if you cross over that, like you'd be in like literally just an hour, you'd be automatically an hour behind. And you take
That makes sense.
away and you're an hour ahead.
You could be a time traveler and go back in time.
Technically.
You can't like experience things that you already did. You can just like go back an hour to like a different time.
Yeah.
True. Well, yeah.
For me. But how far west do you have? How far east? I still don't understand that. How far east? How far east do you have to go to be considered going west?
Because the earth is, I feel like it's just like since the earth is round, like there is just.
Yeah, I need to start also.
Right. Yeah, you can just start yours. We can start out with Paul's first one. Okay, so we're back on a new Zoom call. I think the answer to that east-west, I don't think there's a designated line, but I feel like at some point there has to be where you cross over. I just don't think it's defined, and I feel like it's just kind of out there.
Yeah, like on a random like island, like in the water somewhere. Like, I agree.
That's wild. You know what always weirded me out is how people are saying if you dig a hole, you could dig a hole all the way to China. Like, I know we can't test that theory, but I wonder if it's true. When I was little, every day at recess, me and my friends this was in like kindergarten and first grade. We would dig a hole every single day, and every single day the like cleaning crew would come and like put the wood chips back on the playground, and we'd always start every single day trying to get to China. Ugh, never
I
happened.
think you would end up getting there though, because it's just that would prove that the Earth is round then.
That's true, but you would die because
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get any.
you would like burn and just.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I learned about this in like a 3rd grade science class, but I'm not a science guy, so. Any science guys, let us know. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. I'm looking up so many good deep questions.
Yeah, I know. I think we need to like
My mind is hurting.
just a bunch of questions and just ask.
All right. Let's do this. Sports. Opinion. Well, what are your favorite? I know you guys play field hockey and softball, although there might have been a quitting in softball.
Yes.
And there might have been a quitting in basketball.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I remember that.
I didn't even go to the first practice, so.
She didn't even go to the tryouts. She quit just right out of the gate. Just said
Yeah,
no.
well, I actually I had my whole bag, and then I was about to leave school, and then I just walked to the train station. I was like, I don't want to go.
Yes, exactly.
I just couldn't do it. I don't know.
If Ella played basketball, then that would have been so fun. Like basketball at our school, I think is the best sport. I love it so much. Like it's so fun.
All the sports at my school are super competitive because we recruit.
Oh yeah.
But it's fun to watch.
Well, your school's bigger, right? Like how many people do you have in your grade?
I think ours is 130 something.
Oh yeah. See, ours we have like 46 in our grade.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot smaller and a lot like less. I mean, some of our sports teams are good. Like basketball is probably the best team.
Yeah, basketball's like the only good one.
But like, but it's a lot like they don't really have cuts and stuff for teams.
Yeah, no one really cares. Everyone just like wants to play.
I heard they like to do debate, and I feel like you would be good at that. You have some good points to back up your arguments that we've already talked about.
I'm not bad. I'm pretty good. I don't know. I'm pretty
like
good.
it?
I know a lot of useless stuff. That's what I like to say. These people are like, oh, you're pretty smart. But I guess just like I know the percentage of oil we get from Saudi Arabia, and I will never need to know that in my life. It's 12 or 13%. I also know way too much about cyber war. I know way too much about the social structure of Venezuela. Like I know so much about Venezuela. It's so unnecessary. Like I know that the U.S. is trying to give Venezuela like hundreds of millions of dollars of aid, but it's so pointless and useless. But you know, when I try to impress someone, I just start spewing out facts that just have no relevance to anything. Like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. It's not cool. I don't know.
You would do very well if you went on Jeopardy or like a trivia like that.
Yeah, you should.
I know a lot of useless stuff about history, and I know a lot of useless stuff about debate topics in the past 2 years. So yeah, maybe if that's the idea, I would probably do pretty well with that.
Yeah. Well, you already have your podcast, and that's a great time and a good.
Yeah, I mean, at least you know where the U.S. states are. Unlike someone else here.
Anonymous source.
Yes, very anonymous.
Yeah, an anonymous source. I'm looking up some deep thoughts and some of the things I'm seeing on here. Well, one of them, the object of golf is to play the least amount of golf. So if you're really good, then you get like barely any practice.
That's an interesting way to think of it.
Much.
That's a really interesting way to think of it.
Did it like 2 times.
That is very true.
You know what I really want to do? I saw someone on TikTok that dives into like the little water at the golf course and gets all the golf balls. And I really want to try it because there's a golf course like really close to my house.
You should.
But I don't think they would let me on the golf course.
Get some goggles.
I want to just run on wearing like goggles and like flippers and just like jump into the thing. And
You definitely should.
I'll tell you this much. I got a friend who's a very good fisherman, but he fishes on all private property, and that private property is mostly golf courses.
Oh, is he just allowed to go on there? Like, does he have to?
No, he's not allowed to go on there, and he gets kicked off a lot. Like a lot. like one time, one of my other friends, who I think, if I'm picking up on the whole theme, is very, very, very good friends with one of our anonymous sources.
Oh.
He went fishing on one of the spots that was private property, and the guy came through and he said, "I've already kicked you off today. What are you doing back?" And he had to explain it as a completely different person, and he already knew what he was talking about in terms of who was there before him. But yeah, he's quite a good fisherman for being completely illegal. And
Well, what does he catch in the little golf ponds? Like there's fish in there?
yeah, it's stocked. Hold on, sorry, it's stocked, so it keeps like the fish like eat away, I think, like bacteria or algae, so it makes them look prettier, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know that there was fish in there. Now I don't want to go in there because I don't want to swim.
I'm sure some of them do, and I'm not like, if the small ones especially, they don't, but I'm fairly confident that a lot of like the bigger ones, like the ones that are, I don't know how big, but like not the small little traps, like the big traps, I'm pretty sure those are stocked.
Oh, got it.
That's crazy. What if like a ball, just like someone hit a ball so hard into it and then it hit the fish?
I think those are off the golf course too. Like they're on the sides, I think. I have actually no idea. I just know that he fishes at golf courses, so there's got to be.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did not know that. Wow. I have a really good question.
Okay. What is it?
Ella, I think I know how you feel on this, but I'm not sure. What is better? Oh, actually, I definitely know how you feel about this. But what is better, lake or beach?
Beach.
I disagree. I'm a lake guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
My dad's family owns a lake house. I've only been there like once, but the family owns a lake house. I feel like for me, I'm not a people's guy per se. I like smaller crowds rather than bigger crowds. So if you're just going and like you get a little like kayak on a lake, that's more fun than like going out with a bunch of people on the beach.
See, I understand that actually because I love kayaking is so fun, and I like going to like the lake. I agree. My cousins like have a lake, and they like, I don't know, it's so cool. But I really just love going in like the waves, and I love like boarding. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
just very insane. But I agree. Like sometimes there's a lot of people in the water, and like I don't want to them. Like I don't want to talk to them. So
Yeah, and it's so crowded. Like sometimes a wave comes and you're not ready for it, and you like bump into someone and you're like sorry, and then Will, you probably have never experienced this, but sometimes your entire bathing suit's like falling down and you're trying not to be like seen. Like it's a whole disaster.
It's very true.
Yeah, I can't say I've experienced that one, but I know what you mean with the people. Also, like I was down at the beach a few weeks ago, and I think another one of the anonymous sources, I was with them, and they had the flags set up really weird so that like you didn't really know which places you weren't supposed to swim at and you were.
Mm-hmm.
And then like getting whistled at by a lifeguard is one of the most like scary things ever, because you have no idea if they're talking to you or like
Talking to you,
exactly
right? I know exactly what you're
Very
talking about. You never know who they're whistling at. And you know, me and Ella were at the beach the other day, and the lifeguard came in the water to tell us to move over.
Yeah, she came and she was like,
Look,
guys,
and there she was. And it's so hard sometimes when the current is so strong, like you just can't swim, like, and you drift really far sometimes. But
yeah, no, fun fact, I actually have been saved by a lifeguard so many times when I was younger, like so many times. Like I wasn't like drowning, but I've like gotten like stuck in like the riptide, and I've like had to get saved like probably a good 5 times. Like
so scary. I feel like it's definitely easier to drown at the beach than at the lake, because at the lake, there aren't like really whirlpools. I mean, I'm sure there are, but like not a lot. But and the wind, like there's no waves really. I don't know. But I feel like the lake is a lot scarier because you never know what's down there. You can't see the bottom sometimes.
That's true.
And something could just grab your foot and yank you down, and you never know what it will be.
well, that's actually my main reason why I would not rather the lake, because I am so scared of fish. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm sure you do. I'm so scared of fish. Like, it's not that I think that they're gonna hurt me. It's just they're just so scary looking and gross, and I just hate them. Like, I'm so scared of them. So.
Do you like
I-
food?
Sorry,
Sorry.
go.
Do you like the food fish, or like is
Oh
that?
yeah.
Is that
No, I'm not. Like, I like because I don't like to see them. I don't know why. Like,
Okay.
I could eat fish. I don't know.
But what if someone
Okay.
served you a whole fish just on a plate, just laying there?
With like an eye on it? Like,
No, with an eye. With an eye.
Well, why would I eat a raw fish like that?
I don't know.
There's certain ways you can prepare it where there's like you have
Yeah.
like, skeleton, I guess, and then they just kind of like filleted in front of you. That's what like the fancy restaurants do because they think they're cool. But I don't see the point. Of it. If I order a fish, you don't really want the eye. That's just me.
Oh yeah, that is so scary.
My thing about the beach, Ella, you've heard me talk about this a lot, but Will, I have a really bad irrational fear of finding like a dead body in the water. Like, I'm so scared like a dead body will like wash up and I'll like see it, and like what if it like was like eaten up like by something, like if, like half of it was missing. Like, I'm so scared of that happening. And at the lake, they just sink and lay at the bottom, so you'll never see it, but it's always there. It's probably not there, but
That's a new one. Wait, so did you guys? I assume you guys watched Outer Banks. I hope you did.
Yes.
Well, okay, I watched the first 4 episodes, but I'm so bad. Like, I am watching like 15 shows at once, and I am like so sporadic. Like, I'll watch a bunch of episodes and then I won't. But I tried really hard to like get into it, and I watched 4 episodes, but I haven't watched the rest.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the podcast, and she pretended like she knew what was going on, but she didn't.
That's honestly not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
I try to get through like a series before starting a new one. So right now I'm watching like a fantasy football show that's really funny, and then I'm supposed to watch How I Met Your Mother after that, and then a few other super long shows. But for me, Outer Banks was like a one-day thing because I'm in Arabic, like an Arabic class, and for fun, they offer to do Ramadan. You guys know what Ramadan is, right?
Yeah, the holiday.
The fasting thing. So I got up. I didn't want to like wake up my parents because I was watching like the NFL draft was on. So I slept on a yoga mat downstairs, and I figured I might as well just pull an all-nighter. So I watched like the first 3 episodes. I went to sleep, got up at 4, watched the rest of the episodes, and then by the time it was like noon, I had only 2 episodes left to watch.
I watched it one day too, actually, because I think I started around 12 and then I finished it like really late at night. I don't know. I like that though. I like a 1-season show that I could just finish. It's like a good feeling.
Do you think there should be a second season though?
Well, it kind of like left a cliffhanger, so yeah, for that specific show, kind of. They could have ended it though. That's the thing.
I feel like if they really want the integrity of the show to stay the same, they would leave it at 1. But if it's obviously going to make a lot of money for them.
Oh yeah, because it was so trendy on TikTok and everyone was watching it, and it was such a big publicity thing because everyone. I mean, sometimes people like get obsessed with like shows and they want to like dress like the characters, and that was such a big thing on TikTok. Like, everyone was like taking on the beachy style and like becoming like pogues or whatever. So yeah, I think they're going to try and make a second season. But I don't know about this cliffhanger because I did not get that far.
Oh, right. I forgot.
I think they handled it pretty well. But I don't know. I feel like for the integrity of the show, I felt like it should be a 1 season, but they're going to make a lot of money off the next one and then even more money off the one after that if they continue to keep making seasons.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would have been, like, they could have ended it and made it a 1-season show and it would have been good, but I don't know.
Plus, the characters, like the actual actors, like Chase Stokes, Madeline Klein, they're like kind of, I don't know how to put this because I think one of my friends sent me a TikTok where it was like one of the title of the website or like of the article was like Chase Stokes thinks grass is better than his girlfriend.
Oh, I saw this. I know you're talking about.
I saw it too.
He like picked up the grass and was like, look at this sick grass. And that I feel like is really relatable. And it's funny because it shows that they're still like kids to a certain extent, or that they're able to like mess around with the media and like have fun with it. I feel like a lot of the older actors, like, I don't know, just like off the top of my head, like Paul Rudd, I guess, like any of those older guys, like they would have just ignored it completely. I feel like them interacting with
Is Paul Rudd in Outer Banks?
No.
No. He was just saying, like, an example.
I wasn't sure if he like.
No, I agree.
Later episode.
I
But-
think that's why so many people follow it, because like all the characters are like at least like act like they're young and like relatable, and like I feel like that's why like they have TikTok and like
Exactly.
they're like posting on like social media, and like obviously actors like Collab like aren't doing that. You know what I mean?
That's true. And that's also probably another reason that, well, I don't think they could do too many seasons because High Chase Stokes is 27 years old.
Yeah.
So he can't make any, well, I don't know. Is he going to be?
Why did you say High Chase? Is that? Do you think that's his name?
Instagram. It's the Instagram or the TikTok. That's what his.
Wait, Ava, were you the one that thought his name was High Chase?
Sorry, I keep, every time I think of it.
Don't worry. I understand why.
High
Like, why
Chase.
did he make that? I don't know.
Maybe Chase Stokes was taken.
It got me. It pranked me. But, like, what is he going to be doing? Playing a teenager when he's 30? Like, he can't make, like, 4 seasons of the show.
He pulls it off fairly well, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
thought he
agree.
was 16. But what's he going to do when he's 30? Like, that's, like, a little old to be playing a 16-year-old. Like,
Well, if you think about it, he's not going to change that much in like what 2 years.
Yeah. I
yeah,
think
when
10,
he's 30, I feel like when you, like, are 30, it's just a milestone that it's just, like, you're old. But not old. You're, like, relatively old. Like, you're not a kid. Like, once you're out of the 20s, you're, like, definitely an adult. I mean, not that you're, like, not an adult when you're, I don't know. But I feel like they just can't make a lot of seasons off it. But I feel like they were going to want to because it's so popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see. But I was actually going to ask you that, like, what TV shows you like. But,
Yeah. So I'm watching The League right now. It's really funny.
what's in the league?
I think
Yeah.
my brother's watching that actually right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him.
It's like 5. It's 5 guys and a wife, and they're like in fantasy football. And it's just kind of like it's fantasy football is like the idea, but it's kind of like the second storyline to like a more like just friendship. Like it's like good friendship is the reason why like and like they're really funny. They prank each other. But I guess like all time, I'm a big Friends fan.
Me
I'm-
too.
I'm a big. I like The Office. I think I can't really rewatch anymore because it's not as funny when you watch it so many times. I don't know. That's just me. I
Oh
feel
my
like.
gosh, I so relate to that because, okay, sorry to cut you off.
Don't worry. Go ahead.
I love The Office. Like, I watch it all the time. Like, I was so obsessed with it when I first like, watched it. So I rewatched it like 2 times.
Exactly.
Like, you know, have you watched the entire thing through?
Yeah, I've watched everything.
Yeah, so-
multiple times as well.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Like, the show basically jumps the shark when Michael leaves.
Exactly. And you don't watch those seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't watch the first one because there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Because I watched.
Are the only seasons you watch. And then when you do that, you just keep watching the same stuff over
the
and
same
over.
things over and over again. And the thing is, my family, I got them into the show. Like, I showed them a couple episodes, and my mom thinks it's hilarious, and she always wants to watch it. So I'm like, okay, we can watch The Office. But my brothers like to watch, and they're like very young, so I don't want to watch like certain episodes because I know it's like not appropriate for them. So it's so hard. So we end up watching like the same episodes over and over again. We always like default back to season 1, but there's only 6 episodes, so I've seen them. Like, I know I could recite the script of it. So it's so bad, and we can't watch the later episodes because when they have like Nelly and Robert California,
Yeah,
it's so
Robert
bad.
California especially. So
yeah,
weird.
and when Andy like becomes the boss, it's just
no
like,
longer
what?
funny.
Like,
I
ugh.
completely agree.
And when Jim and Pam are married, they start having so much fighting, and it's just not entertaining
That
at all.
last season is unwatchable because of those 2.
Exactly, it like hurts me because they'll be like arguing, and it like drives me insane. Like, I'm just like, stop fighting, like just resolve your issues, like stop.
I completely agree. I 100%.
Bothers me so much. Ugh, you
The
don't
other
even
thing
know.
too, with Friends, I kind of watched it. My mom and dad showed me like one episode a few years back, and it was the one. Have you guys seen it? Or like at least. Kind
Yeah,
of.
I've seen it. I've seen all the episodes like a bunch of times.
So there's one episode where they do like a game show, and it's between like, whoever wins gets the apartment or whatever, like the really good apartment, the other one doesn't. So at that point, I think I've seen that episode at least 10 times. So like you'll know exactly what the question is, you'll know exactly what the answer is.
Oh yeah, that's such a good episode.
It's a really, really good episode because Ross is hilarious, Monica's even funnier, and Chandler and Joey are really, really funny together. So
Yeah, no. See, I don't watch The Office. I just don't think it's, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like and even Claudia posted this on her story today. She posted a TikTok that was like, I wish I could rewatch The Office again because it's
For the first time. I was going to talk about that because it was so funny the first time I watched it. And now I watch it over and it's like, yeah, some parts are still funny to me. But like the more I watch it, the less funny it gets. And the more like I start to not like it. When I like love the show, but like the more I watch, I'm like that's not really that funny to me anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. I missed like when I watched it the first time and I was like surprised and like I loved it so much. Ugh, it stinks.
All right, then I have a sub question for that, and I'll ask it, I guess, both ways. So, Ava, on The Office, who do you think you are, like character-wise? And then Ella, from Friends, who do you think you are character-wise?
That's such a good question. Ella, do you want to go first?
This is a hard question. Oh, definitely. Actually, no, I relate so much to Phoebe because she's just so dumb, and so am I. And I think, like, I don't relate to well, I don't know. But she's just, like, there, you know? She's just, like, vibes. And I feel like, I don't know, just kind of me.
What do you think from The Office?
Well, see, this is hard because I feel like everyone in the office has like some quirk about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dwight's weird, Angela loves cats, Oscar's gay. Like they all have like a little thing going for them. And then I feel like Jim and Pam are just like the normies. Like they're just like nothing stands out about them. They're just like kind of boring. And like Jim's always going like his little face. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, if I was on the show, I feel like I would be like Pam because she's the only normal girl in the office. Like, who am I supposed to be? Phyllis? Like, there's no one else.
Yeah,
or actually, maybe I would be Kelly because she is like, well, she's so annoying, but like I love her. But she likes fashion, she likes celebrities, and she loves Ryan. Like, I feel like I would kind of be like her. But she's like so annoying and sassy sometimes. Like, I don't relate to that. But honestly, sometimes I get the vibes that I'm Michael because he wants to have all the friends and he gets, and you know the episode Pretzel Day, like when he
of course.
has like all the sugar and then he like goes crazy. That's me because I get so crazy when I have sugar or like coffee. Like I go like crazy, and I feel like I just so related to him in that episode.
Also,
what about you? Who do you think you are?
Also, that one episode where he eats that entire family-sized chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie. Yeah, that's the other one too. Yeah, and he fell asleep, and they changed it.
Yeah.
That was such a good episode.
So for me, friends-wise, my favorite character has always been Ross, and I feel like in a lot of ways, I'm very sarcastic. I like don't take a lot of things seriously. So I feel like Ross and Chandler, I kind of feel like I relate to the most. But on The Office, like you said, you're right. Like the two normies are Pam and Jim. And I just don't feel like it's not even like a compliment or whatever, like you're both. But like I've had two people come up to me like, you remind me a lot of Jim, because you know like every friend group has like a thing. So like one of them for like the guys, it's just there's a ladies man, there's like the stupid one, or like the you know like everyone has that sort of thing. Like I always fit under, and even like when one of my friends made a TikTok about it, was like I was the dad of the group or whatever, and I feel like Jim is just like the only person you can like really relate to when you fit under the archetype.
Yeah. Who are you gonna relate to? Oscar, Dwight?
Exactly.
Like it's just so weird. But speaking of Dwight, so my dad like doesn't really watch The Office with us, but sometimes he'll like walk by and like see like what's going on.
Yeah.
And he thinks Dwight is so weird looking and like just so weird. And I told him like I like started this little prank, and I told him that he really looks like Dwight and acts like him, and he was so offended. And now I always like whenever he's like sitting there, I'm like, oh, you look just like Dwight, and he's like, what? He gets so mad. It's so funny.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but Dwight's crazy. But without Dwight, like the show would, if the entire office acted like Jim and Pam, then there'd be no show. There'd be no show. But like Jim and Pam, you need them there to keep like the office dynamic. Because if they weren't there, then it would just be like a whole group of weirdos, and it just like it just wouldn't go.
The weird thing I think about it is like a lot of the most famous TV shows. So like at least recently for our age, like The Office, Friends, Parks and Rec, and then a little bit of How I Met Your Mother, I guess. Like, especially for like the older shows, like every single one has like that ideal friend group you want to be with, like the people that you like want to like this is what I want to like have when you grow up. Mm-hmm. But what's kind of interesting to me is like almost every person like I know our age has watched The Office, it's going to be so interesting when we grow up and we're exposed like an actual
Office environment.
and it's just going to be nothing like we love Michael as viewers, but if you had Michael as your boss, you'd hate it. And I feel like with us all like watching the show, I feel like our exposure to that is going to be so funny. It's going to be nothing the way it's going to be, and it's going to be like really weird. I don't know, that's just me. I think that's going to be a little bit creepy.
Yeah, because I feel like in real offices, because you know how Michael is, he always calls his little conference room meetings, and he like always has like his weird little like stuff that he teaches everyone, and he's just like his diversity day like stuff, like just his crazy little presentations. Like you're not going to get that. Like when you like a couple times during The Office, when they showed like another branch, they were so boring in there. Like when they showed
Call of Duty, that was really funny.
Oh yeah, that was so funny that they played that.
Really funny.
But when they showed I think it was Utica, like later on when they go visit Karen for like the lecture circuit, whatever, little Rolando, the little guy, like they were all so normal in there. And it's like, that would be so boring to work there. Like, I would so much rather work for Michael Scott and get, like, verbally harassed every single day than, like, work in such a boring office.
That makes sense.
But, like, I feel like also in real life, if I met Michael, like, the things he says, like, I feel like people in real life, I mean, it's funny to us because, like, we're not experiencing that. But if someone, like, said something, like, to me and I don't know, like, something Michael would say, I feel like I would be like, what? Like, I would get offended. And because he makes such like offensive jokes, but like it's just so funny because he just, that's how he is. Like it's just funny.
I agree.
But
one thing. So did you guys watch Parks and Rec?
I was gonna ask that before. I was actually thinking about that.
I'm trying to find some common ground for Ella to talk because I feel like.
Yeah.
Wait, did you watch that, Ava?
Oh well, see, I didn't. I watched like 5 episodes last summer. But I hated it. Like, I did not find it funny at all because I felt like they tried so hard to make the main person Leslie Michael Scott, and it was so bad and like annoying. But I heard that it gets really good if you keep watching. So today, actually, this morning, I was trying to watch some more episodes.
I don't like Amy Poehler. Like, I think she's annoying. But I don't watch it for her. I watch it for Tom Haverford, and I watch it for who's Nick Offerman? How do I not know this? Ron Swanson.
Wait, is he the one with the mustache?
Yeah. Like, at one point, they travel to London, and the entire episode, he's like, the first thing he says is like, I believe that all history started July 4th, 1776. Everything before that was a mistake. He, like, took a picture of a Big Ben. He goes, oh, wow, a clock. We definitely don't have any of those in America. One point he tries to buy something with with the US dollar, and he goes, this is the finest piece of paper in the world. You will accept it and take it, or something like that. I feel like just that's really funny for me because I don't know. But let's see, what else can we kind of delve into a little bit so we can get some common ground.
Well, so me and Ella started watching this show called The Vampire Diaries, which you probably haven't watched.
Is that
that is just something we're like obsessed with now. But not really.
Is that on the CW?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on Netflix now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that was like our not biggest binge, but like that's what we've been like watching a lot. But
yeah.
See, I have been. You said this before, Will, that you're trying to watch like one show at a time, and I feel like that's like me too. Like I'm so bad. I watch so many shows. But I'm really trying right now to watch one show at a time. So I'm watching this show called Person of Interest, and Ella hears me talk about it all the time, and it's so good, and you should definitely watch it. I feel like you would like it, but it's very entertaining.
That's the one nice thing. When you have a person to talk about a show with, like with The League, I have 2 people to talk to it about. One already finished it, and one is watching. I think they're only a season behind me now after I took like a 2-week break. So like, having them like text you or call you and be like, or even like send you videos, it's like, that's always really good. But yeah, I feel like one of the hardest things is to have like one of your best friends watch the same show with you, because I feel like of all the people, like of our like friend group as well, I don't think like one person's favorite show, I don't think any of us have ever watched. The other one, he's tried to show it to us like 4 times, and every single time we've just hated it. And the other one, I don't even know what he watches, to be honest. It's just kind of like, I don't think he watches anything. I think he's just on TikTok or Snapchatting. And then, I mean, like, I don't think any of us, beside the league, I don't think any of us have watched the same show besides The Office. But I feel like that's just like the normal.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people watch The Office, and I feel like a lot of people watch Friends. But
Yeah, I agree. I feel like every person has to have seen one of them at least. I feel like.
yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But I feel like in our friend group, a lot of us, like, when shows come out, like Outer Banks or
like All American,
or like Never Have I Ever. I don't know if you watched that.
That was the worst I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
don't
but,
watch it.
When those shows like come out, we all like watch it and then we talk about it or make fun of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, but the problem is that so many shows on Netflix are so many seasons long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want to give up 4 years of my life to watch all of Grey's Anatomy. Like, that's.
Oh yeah, that's like
That's like 18 or so seasons or something like that.
Yeah, I've been watching that for I probably was watching it when it was like they're on probably like season 6 like on TV, and now they're on like 17, I think. And like not many people watch it. Like I know like a few people that I could talk to about it, but like that's so annoying. I feel like it's like such a long show that like I'm so invested in now. But, like no one watches it because it's like so old now.
So I gotta ask, did you both watch All American now?
I did.
You
I
did?
was an OG fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it last year.
So I watched it live, like all the episodes live. It was like every Monday on the CW.
Yeah.
I thought the first season was pretty good. I thought the second season was awful.
I actually completely agree. I mean, I don't think it was like the worst, but it was not good. Like
It was at one point when it was like Asher's mom was like, "Oh my God, there's something like super crazy, like like she was kicked out of his life for this." All of a sudden, she's a prostitute. I mean, like, where does this come from?
yeah, no, it was just not good. Like
I don't know. I'm not like I watched it for football originally. It was like, oh my God, like this kid transfers schools to play football, like one of these awesome stories, and it's just like, oh, just kidding. You know what? Here's a bunch. But I felt like it got away from like what it was really meant to do. I don't know.
I think the first season was really good, actually. I really liked it. And then it just got like too much. It wasn't even about like the football anymore. Like I liked when it was about football. A lot of people would probably disagree and be like, no, like I like all the drama, but like I'm all for drama, but not that. Like
exactly.
I'd rather like the football. Like I don't know. I feel like that was so much better.
Yeah, the only thing I know about All American is, what about Crenshaw? What about my scholarship?
What about Coop or whatever?
Yeah, what about Coop? What about Dylan?
Yeah, that's also very true. But do you know any of like the character, like not the character? Do you know any of the characters? I guess like the guy characters at least, because of everybody I've talked to, they've all said that Jordan is the person that they would choose. Do you think Jordan is the hottest character on the show, or do you think it's someone else?
No, I think Jordan is hot, but my favorite character is Darnell.
Interesting.
I loved him. I thought he was so unproblematic, and I just loved him.
Wait, is this Jordan? That's
Yeah.
him, right?
He's like annoying. I don't know. In the first season, I'm trying to think. No, he got good in the second season. Like towards the end, he was like he got like to be a better character. But I love Darnell. I don't know.
Which one was Darnell? Was that
the one from Crenshaw? It was like he was what's the guy? What's Spencer's dad's name?
Oh, Cooper, not Cooper.
I'm trying to think. Casey? No, it wasn't Casey. It was something like that though.
I know what you mean. That's
Who's Mans?
Oh, that's Asher.
Yeah. Oh, I really like Asher too, actually.
And who are these two?
So the one. All right. So the one in the middle is
Who's holding the football?
That's Spencer.
That's Spencer, the main
He's
character.
my favorite character. He's the one that always says, "What about Crenshaw? What about Cooper?"
Yeah, he's the main character. Like.
And then who's to the left of him?
Jordan.
That's Bill. Wait.
Billy.
That's
Baker.
Billy.
The one in the
Yeah,
middle is Billy. Like between the three guys. The one in the Billy.
Jordan and
Jordan's on the other one. I'm not a fan. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of I'm not a fan of. I don't know. I didn't like Jordan, but
Yeah, I didn't really like his character either, honestly. It was kind of annoying. But I liked Asher, even though, like, he like, had really good character development, I feel like.
that's very true. You hated him so much, and then you're like, actually,
Yeah, like, you could not stand him, and then he got, like, to be a good guy.
yeah, I agree.
Interesting. I might watch it.
You should watch it.
Watch
I
the
mean, you
first
should watch the
season.
first season.
And then after that, you don't have to watch it.
I'm like, I don't know. I like want to watch it, but at the same time, I'm watching so many shows right now.
No, when you have nothing to watch, you can watch it.
Yeah, maybe after I finish, I'll watch it.
That's true.
We'll see. If I do, I'll definitely talk about it and tell you guys how I like it.
Okay.
But I think Spencer might have to be my favorite because of his iconic line. It's the only thing I know at the show.
He's a lot. I think he's my favorite. He was always my favorite for me. I mean, he was the football guy. So I was.
Yeah.
He was the best at football, so he was my favorite. All right, I think we're running out of time on the second Zoom call, so I think this might be time to end our podcast. You guys what do you guys do at the end? I'll join in if we want to.
We say Ritos out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do mine. All right, guys, so that was it. Leave a like. Remember, when you guys are seeing this, 20 likes and we will consider making merch. So hit the like button on the last video if you haven't already. So that was it from the Name Pending Ugly Burrito podcast. I think I got that right. I'm going to do it, and I'll just join in afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So thank you for having us on your podcast. It was really fun. I liked our collab, and I'm a little sad Travis didn't come, but it's all right.
We'll get him in the podcast sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to do another collab sometime for him to come.
I agree.
But so I think it might be time to do our outro.
All right.
And here we go. Ritos out.
Ritos out. All right, guys. Have a good day. Peace.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.